What's going on, everyone? Today we're going to be smoking some ribs in the Weber Smokey Mountain 14.5 inch. I want to do these pull off the bone style because I'm going to be using the meat for something else, another cook tomorrow. So that's why I'm going to be cooking it how I'm cooking it today. Normally I like my ribs to be a little more pull on them, a little more bite to the bone, but today I want those bones to slide right out. So we're going to get this started. I did have someone comment that this was a heat deflector for the bottom, and I think on the bigger ones it is, but I flipped this guy over and I don't see any way to attach this on this one. It actually is not even big enough. So I believe they're just using it on the inside as a heat deflector built in. So we're going to put that back in there. Today I'm going to be using my fire cups by Tiger McCool Barbecue Company to light this up. I need to get me a charcoal chimney to light this a little bit easier. But I'm just going to put, I dig by the little ones. If I had a charcoal chimney, I'd just use one. But since I don't have a chimney, I'm going to put 2 of those in the middle. Using some of that good charcoal company. This is the lump. Open it up a little. Just like that. Throwing some cherry wood on here. I really love the color cherry gives. Now we're just going to let that charcoal burn down, get the top set up, and we'll get it up around 250 degrees. Alright everyone, we're just going to go over this real quick on how I prep my ribs. I am trimming these down a lot more than I normally would because that Weber Smokey Mountain 14.5 inch is so much smaller than my normal smoker. So I want to make sure I cut off the ends on both sides just to give me a little more play on how I can fit those in. I'm using my new knife from Ken Knife Co. Company off Instagram. Super sharp, it's awesome. We're just going to take that back membrane off. I just use a butter knife, get underneath there, and then I use a paper towel and grab a hold of it and rip it straight off. Super simple. Then we're using some Cosmos Honey Chipotle Killer Bee. We're going to give it a really good coating, front and back. You want to make sure you get those sides. I like to get everything coated because when I do my wrap, I mean, a lot of juices are in there. You're going to want to get flavor all over this thing. So once it's all coated, it's ready to throw out on the smoker. Alright guys, we got some good smoke rolling. We're sitting about 225, getting up to 250. I got all my vents open right now. So I'm going to put these ribs on and then I'm going to monitor it. I'm going to try to keep it around 225, 250. I'm going to be using the traditional, what everyone says, 3-2-1 method. Just because this gives great fall off the bone results. And I'll show you, if you want fall off the bone, you can follow that 3-2-1 and you'll get it. But if you want a little more pull on a little more bite on your bone, I try to go around closer to a 2-2-1, and I'm really just seeing how the meat's cooking at that point. We're gonna get these put on. I trimmed them up a little bit smaller than I normally do, just so I can make sure I fit them on this little guy. Now they will shrink up while we cook a little bit, but these are pushing the limit on this. I might have to eventually get I've seen some people do curved ribs on these. They have little holders. They can kind of bend the ribs to the Smoky Mountain. It'd also be kind of cool to see if you could hang some ribs in here with attachment if they make anything like that, because there is a lot of depth here. I don't have my water bowl in, so we're just gonna let this ride. We'll check on it in a couple hours. Alright guys, it's been 3 hours. This thing's holding steady at 225. I clamped down this top damper just a little bit because it was getting up into closer to the 250 range, and I didn't want to get that high. So we're going to take this off, see how these things look. Then I got my table set up behind me to get these wrapped. It's getting nice outside. Someday I hope to have a barbecue shack outside. We can have all these grills out there, perfect setup for filming. But for now, we use the porch. So let's check these out. Be pulling these off one at a time. Nice some Kerrygold butter. I'll be putting down on them. Where this is going, I'm gonna put some honey. I'm gonna set the ribs on that. Some more honey on this side. Normally I use a brown sugar rub, but I have some Running Wild Foods maple sugar bourbon. This stuff is awesome, super tasty. We're gonna use this. I'm gonna put a healthy coating over the top. I do use foil for my ribs. Butcher paper for everything else. Wrapped up nice and tight, just like that. It's ready to go back on the smoker. Grab it. So I put cherry wood in there originally, and I found my pecan wood when we were cleaning the garage out today while we were letting these cook, so I threw a couple slices of pecan wood in there. That's my favorite combo, pecan and cherry. Cherry for color, pecan for flavor. Nice and tight wrap job. Back on the smoker. Get a little creative with these ones, stack them up on each other, and making sure I don't get the edges. Just like that. All right. We're gonna let this go for another 2 hours wrapped up like that, and then we'll pull them back off, unwrap them, put them back on the smoker for a final hour to finish them off, and they should be pull out the bone tender. All right, guys, it's been another 2 hours. This thing's been around 200, 225. So we're gonna go ahead and pull them off, unwrap them, back on the smoker for about an hour. We'll judge. If the bones are getting pretty close to pull out, we'll be done. But let's get them off. Lots of juices in there. These are pretty much done now. I could probably pull these bones out. These bones are pretty much pull out ready. So I'm gonna throw these back on. I'm only gonna leave these on for maybe another 30 minutes. We'll let them tack up a little bit from that liquid steam bath they've been in. So I'm gonna let these go for another 30 minutes. We'll pull them off and we're gonna give one a try. And then if you wanna see why we cooked them like this, so the bone's pulling out, that video will be coming out next week on Monday. We're doing a collab with Drunken Chef. He was putting this on with a bunch of other people. So if you want to see why we cooked them like that, you have to watch that video. All right, guys, I just pulled these off the Smoky Mountain. Take a look at them. Great bark. They have some great smoke to this. They, like I said, I was cooking these 3-2-1 because I wanted those bones to be able to just pull right out. If you want to know why we're doing that, you gotta watch the next video. With this one, I am gonna taste test these, of course. Man, that flavor combo. Cosmos Honey Chipotle Killer Bee with some Running Wild's maple sugar bourbon. Holy cow, guys. That, I'm just gonna pull it right off like that. That is so good. Even though when you cook them, people say this is overcooked, there's still juice in those ribs. And if you like them like this, make them like this. This is fantastic. I'm just pulling that meat right off. There's tons of juice in there. They aren't dry at all. Oh my gosh. That Weber Smokey Mountain, I kind of wish I had the bigger one because it gives such a good smoke profile, and these just turned out fantastic. I kind of don't want to even use these for my next video because they taste so good. I just want to eat them as is, but I have a really cool video coming out for these, so make sure you watch that next. It'll be out Monday. This one should be out Friday. So thanks for watching, everyone. If you have an idea of what you want me to throw on that Weber Smokey Mountain next, leave it in the comments below. We can kind of experiment with that small space and see what we can do with it. So thanks for watching again, everyone. Make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. Play that playlist if you got time. We're working on that 4,000 watch hours. We're getting there, and we'll see you next time. In the meantime, though, I'm just gonna keep pulling off some ribs It's kind of nice not having to cut them and just biting right into them. Whew, great smoke, great flavor. Mmm. Those are amazing. I can't get over how good these are.